The college football experience championship week bombs down under episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bet365. Yes, Bet365 is offering new users $1,000 risk-free bet. Sign up today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Plus, this Monday and Tuesday, everything is 20% off in the merch store with the promo code CYBER. Store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Promo code CYBER.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome. Welcome to the college football experience conference championship bombs down under. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got bombs going off left and right, folks. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Kobe Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Double the price, but no one touches Dundee.
Sometimes you gotta double that price. Go down on some of these bombs. Damn right. I am joined by the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. Yes, this is part of the C block. We're back to the normal schedule. So that means you got the Bottom Line Bombs coming right up next. But yes, I am joined by the host of the Bottom Line Bombs. And they call him the man in the box, a.k.a. the bet detective, CJ Sullivan. How you doing, brother?
Great, Dundee. Great to be back after a good Thanksgiving weekend of football for the Bombs down under.
Great weekend for some bombs. Hail State covered for us.
Yeah, Hail State did cover.
Nice little hook. Depending on where you got it, I think we caught it at 11 as they won on Thanksgiving. So, folks. But yeah, we had some nice plays out there. I felt like some solid ones. Now I will say Friday kind of went chalk. Went chalk with the exception of my Iowa Hawkeyes, which it's funny. I was on, I did the grid in Veasan on, throughout the week. And they were asking me at 25.5, is the line too low for Iowa in the under? And I said, no, I actually had more scoring than I thought. There was 2 blocked field goals too. But the under cashed and the Hawkeyes won 13-10. They should be 11-1 and in playoff conversation. America seems to think that they're terrible. I think they're going to, dominate, and they're lucky that the Big Ten are filthy pieces of, because playing the Big Ten championship game should not be in a fucking dome. All right. Maybe you want to do that shit down there in the SEC, but come on, you're the Big Ten. What'd you make of these Hawkeyes coming out on top again?
It's what they do. It's what your Hawkeyes do. It's amazing.
Love this team.
They are great. I gobbled up 24. That opening line versus Michigan.
I'm terrified of the dome angle because Michigan's speed. But I'm still doing it. Ferentz for life.
But you can't complain about Big Ten doing the dome because, of course, they're doing it in a dome. All these conference championship games are just money makers. That's all they care about. Just getting people to come in Indianapolis, whatever, and walk around and mope around commerce and buy things and eat food and go to Chili's too at the airport and get their shrimp cocktails and cash in and buy as much merch as possible.
I've been to that filthy Lucas Oil Stadium. That place sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But yeah, right. But the Hawkeyes, that was the only one. I mean, the other live ones.
Friday was brutal.
Friday was a tough day on the Bombs.
I mean, Texas Tech got buried.
57-7.
Yeah.
Where the hell was that?
Jesus
Even
Christ. Yeah.
Oregon State got buried.
Well, we did say stay away. We did like Oregon in that game.
Yeah.
We should say it away.
How about Sparty? And speaking of shitty dome games, Big Ten's like, hey, let's play this at terrible Ford Field.
Oh, good God.
And Penn State won 42. Nothing. I thought Arkansas could be live. They lost 48-14.
I know. Some of them just got absolutely fucking.
Thought Boston College could be live. They lost 45-20.
Boston College, I was on.
They got up 7-0.
I know.
I'm like, oh, what a genius we are.
I had some brutal ones. Arizona State, not so much.
Yeah. Dude, on the Saturday morning show.
I love those games that are over within 10 minutes. Like, oh my God.
The Saturday morning show, I was like bold. I'm like, yeah, okay. I ended up having a decent day because of Michigan and Sam Houston State and stuff, but I was definitely very bullish. Arizona State and Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Both got just absolutely fucking destroyed.
Even a couple of my pups, UMass, got run by UConn.
Now, we had a nice pup play with Northwestern.
Northwestern, beautiful game. Beautiful 45-43. They won outright. Couple pups that we did. San Diego State. Now I heard you Benedicted it, but that was my favorite play. That's one
got cold feet. I got cold feet.
we printed that 3 weeks ago.
It was all about the storyline, but you know what it was, dude? I'm blaming the fact I came in at 5 a.m. here because I had to do the pregame show at 8 in the morning.
Fair enough.
So, you know how we have God's Eye where there's like 8,000 million channels.
Yeah.
They were playing some old.
Yeah, you can't. That has. If you watch, the key to that San Diego State play was not watching any of the games they played all year long.
Because I'm sitting there in the morning, like eating a bagel, watching. I can't take this team. I can't take this team. And
that's
sure
hilarious because Hoke they fired. Hoke is resigning. Obviously, and we're like, they weren't going to do it at San Jose State. That was their final game at home at night. All of a sudden, they have like a K-gun offense they're running. Like, where does this offense been all year?
You mean to tell me you had this whole roster the whole year?
I mean, what were they doing? They looked amazing. I'm like, this team, they didn't do anything like this. I mean, I'm just talking about play design. Like, well, let it all out now. Well, why can't you let it all out the other games?
Yeah. I mean,
but I'm glad they won. They won outright. They buried Fresno. NC State, they buried Carolina.
Easy play there.
Great dog there. Cal Bears. Woo! Another that was a big dog.
Well, let's talk about that because Chip Kelly might be they say.
Well, that was funny because he went from celebrating down at Lowry's and Beverly Hills. He was getting the prime rib slates for everyone. And after beating USC, he was a toast of the town. And just like LA, that lasts about 36 hours.
Now he's in Temecula.
Right.
Getting a dinner at, fucking Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah, he's good.
We were on Cal. Cal gets bowling. And it was funny. We were having a conversation, me and Patty C. We were like, Cal might be pretty good in the ACC. When you think about how many, when they're at home, that's such a road trip.
Right.
And then I'm like, dude, they always have like more talent than people realize. And I'm like, if you think about it, you're like, well, they can beat, like, if I would favor them against like teams like Georgia Tech and Syracuse and Boston College and UVA. And they're pretty much on the same level as a lot. Like NC State to me is like, I know NC State's got 9 wins, but I feel like they're kind of on the same level. It's an interesting thing of like them coming in there, especially Duke loses Mike Elko. You got to think Cal's probably in a better spot now. What do you make of Cal going into the ACC? Do you think that they could be better?
I think they were always kind of out of place in the Pac-12, in the Pac-10. Their style feeds better, I believe, for the ACC. They were more of a defensive run, kind of team. And
Wilcox football,
absolutely, Wilcox football. So I think they'll be set up fine for them.
Yeah. Now we also knew that anytime you got to go to the island.
I think we clashed on this one because I thought Colorado State was going to fucking not take this as a vacation. They needed this win.
Timmy Chang, baby.
They got caught up in the Changs.
He used to be on the staff at Colorado State. So, and with Jay Norvell. So for my handicap, it was pretty simple.
Because I understand how the bastard thinks. I taught him. Now I own one.
See, that was Timmy Chang.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we hit that. I was surprised. Did you see Farmageddon? See, I took Kansas State, but had I known that was going to be in the middle of a fucking blizzard,
that game was awesome.
It was so beautiful.
That was
my favorite game of the whole season, probably.
That game was amazing.
Iowa State 42. They were a live dog that we did not give away.
Did not give away because I didn't want to get in front of. Did you see the stats in that game though, too?
Dude, that you know what it was like
KC like 3 times a yard.
Yeah,
so they're just hilarious. I mean, shout out to Iowa State for winning that game. I mean, they made big plays, just insane plays.
Rocco Beck, son of your boy Anthony Beck.
Anthony Beck, yep. Coach Tony Baloney.
He was 8 of 12 for 230 and 3 touchdowns. What? He almost half of his completions were like 70-yard touchdowns.
Well, that's what it was. Not yards. The first down. Look at the first down difference. It was like 35-10 or something.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
the first down, 32-10.
32-10 first down.
And they lost.
Yeah, of course.
Unfucking believable.
Go Cyclones. Good win.
How
about this? We had a couple that covered that we gave out, like Washington State. We knew the Apple Cup was going to be a battle.
That rough in the passer. Good. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. How are you calling that rough in the passer at that on that play?
That's insane. That's insane.
Just absolutely.
In the Apple Cup on that play, you're going to gift them that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Even Wilcox in the presser was like, it's like that's a horrible call. That ref should have to answer to that call. In a moment like that, how are you fucking calling it like that? But we did hit still, so I will play our music.
Yeah, that was definitely
but man, if you're a Wazoo fan, you were crushed by that
amazing 4th and 1 call.
Oh yeah,
by Washington to get there though. Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, yeah, I think the refs might just got caught up in it with that momentum, doing bailing them out and giving that extra 15 for the field goal.
That was tough, man. That was tough.
How about this one that I lost? That I was on a team that was almost winning at halftime, getting 26. Stanford Cardinals.
Oh yeah, I mean, what happened?
They were lost.
This was on Pac-12 Network, so the whole world missed it. But they were like.
They were winning. Yeah, they were winning with a couple minutes to go before halftime. Then they went to score. It was a fumble, and they had it. Then they reviewed in the game a touchdown. That was like a 14-point swing, and then that kind of like hurt their momentum going into it. And then it was just a buzzsaw in the second half.
Hold on, I want to talk about my. So I had Auburn money line.
I forgot about that game. The most amazing game of the weekend, of the year, of the one put it in the history of the rivalry. Auburn, we sprinkled Auburn. I also sprinkled Auburn money line. I had the 14.5.
The botch punt.
It really made me upset. And I'm not that I'm an Auburn fan, but like people were texting me, "Oh my God, can you believe this Alabama game? I'm like, this is gross. I mean, gross. It was amazing. Like, what a play.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what is Hugh Strip Club Freeze doing on the defensive side of the ball? This
has happened on before.
How do you not, dude? You watch that replay,
right? Didn't he look like a 4th and 25 play to Arkansas or something like that?
That was the pitch, though.
Yeah.
That was the crazy pitch by Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
This game was really tough to take because Alabama couldn't get the ball down the field on that. So they are forced to punt, which by the way, the sack or the final play where they're forced to punt, where there's a muff punt, it's like 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
What's my quarterback's name for Alabama? I keep wanting to say Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. Jalen Milroe. His knee is down. He throws the ball, but his knee is down. If they overturn that, if they review it even, you'll see that his knee is down. Then 30 seconds off the clock, and then Alabama wouldn't be in that spot.
All right.
So then they punt. The jackass. They honestly, you return this punt, you just catch this ball, the game is pretty much over.
I know.
He fumbles it.
Yeah.
Then Alabama does their best to lose the game. They have a 4th and 31.
The risk reward of putting someone back there to return a punt with a couple minutes ago. Why even have someone back there? What's the point?
4th.
What are you going to bring it to the house?
Yeah.
You fucking just, good God.
Dude, wait, 4th and 31 though.
Yeah. 4th and 31.
You have one-on-one coverage. What?
I watched it several times, that last play, and I still don't understand it. How so you rush 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has 7 minutes back there.
You rush 2. and you have a spy. Why are you spying him?
Yeah.
In case he runs, let him run.
Yeah, he's got to get 31 yards.
You got 8 guys behind you.
And
fucking rush him.
One of the things on like the sky cam when they go on top of the stadium is there's like a defender sitting at like the 10-yard line, just sitting there.
Yeah, get in.
That's the guy that's got to be further back. What are you doing?
Put them all in the end zone.
If you want to do it, put him at the 1-yard line and make it so if he's running. But what are you doing?
No, you can't have. First of all, you can't rush 2. And have a spy for no reason, and 3 guys lingering around the 10. He could have went to many receivers, by the way, in that play. There was a couple receivers he could have thrown to. Yeah, he had plenty of options that were all one-on-one. It was a great pass, great catch, obviously, and
they had no business winning that game.
But you just let him sit there. What are you doing? You can't just let him sit there like it's a fucking like a flag football game. And he's just one of their players is going to make a play.
And you can pass interfere. They're 31 yards away.
Right now, and interfere, get the 15 yards.
Yeah, it's at the 16.
It wasn't just one-on-one coverage. He wasn't even close to the ball. He had plenty of time.
And I was out of a timeout. You should be telling your corners if the ball is anywhere close to being caught, pass interfere. Yeah, I can't believe I lost that game.
I know, that was incredible. So, well, it'll if it means anything to you, Colby, it'll haunt their dreams and nightmares for the rest of their lives down in Alabama.
It's true. It's true.
You just lost a simple ticket.
Yeah. And Hugh Freeze is definitely going to lose that extra stipend at the strip club. Folks, we're going to talk more about some of these bombs we gave away. But before I do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook, trusted by over 88 million players worldwide. They got props. They got sides. They got totals. They got live betting, folks. Yes, Bet365 has you covered. Sign up today. Choose between 2 bonus offers, either $1,000 no sweat bet or bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets. Just head to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bet365. Problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we are back. Yeah, Georgia Southern got smacked. Georgia Southern went up early, and I was like, "Oh, what a great play!" I had text messages coming in. Your Georgia Southern play. I gave it to my fucking my eye doctor. My eye doctor's like, "What am I betting on this weekend?"
I tell you what I do see. I might not be able to see that third row of letters stock, but I tell you what I do see.
I see Georgia Southern.
I see Georgia Southern.
He's like telling me early on. He's texting me, "Boom, Georgia Southern's killing it."
Yeah.
They ended up losing 55-27.
55-27. They got rolled. Not a bad beat. I'll tell you my bad beat. I thought I had was them Gators.
Gators, that quarterback. First off, I thought the Gators. This was like an even game. The score's a little bit misleading.
A little bit misleading. They fucking ran in a touchdown with a minute to go to cover the goddamn spread. Gators should have won this thing. A little bit misleading.
That quarterback for Florida. I have watched a lot of football in my life. Too much, probably. If you actually, I wish I had a count. I don't know that I've ever seen someone with worse pocket awareness in my life.
It's pretty rough.
It's like. It's like they'll be shot out of the gun, and you'll see the safety blitz, which normally takes like 10 minutes, and he's just staring down, and he's staring down receivers in the vicinity of where the safety's coming from. So you would think he just has no idea that he's just gonna get blasted every play, every fucking play, man.
His controller was unplugged or something.
I was on the Gators too.
That last touchdown to cut. First of all, that whole drive, they gave him 15-yard penalties when the quarterback. When he bitched out and slid last second.
That's so fucking bullshit. They need to take the slide out of football because I think it sets up for your player to be in a dangerous position.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get the game safe, sliding, you see the way his head gets hit back into the fucking the turf. Well, guess what? If he didn't slide, that wouldn't have happened. Fucking ridiculous rule.
Yeah,
ridiculous
and they're running to make the tackle, and then all of a sudden they're supposed to stop you there. Like it's insane.
Abrupt fucking slide. Bullshit.
It's actually a technique they should be teaching these.
Well, that's what Levy does. The guy that Mississippi State just hired. All of his fucking quarterbacks, from Mackenzie Melton to Matt Corral to Dylan Gabriel, they all did that. That's why I hate that offense so much.
First of all, Dylan Gabriel, and we were on TCU plus 10.
Yeah, it was kind of a cold week in a way.
Didn't he have a fucking concussion last week or something like that? On a short week?
Well, you got to understand, this is the overreaction. See, concussions were a thing now.
It was 4 days rest.
Now it's not even a concussion.
I know.
Now it's just like, oh, he's got a concussion.
Right.
And then, so that's the only way that he came back. He didn't really have a concussion last week. That must have been bullshit. Propaganda.
Or Oklahoma doesn't know what a concussion. They don't give a shit what a concussion.
That's true.
Oklahoma protocols. They got a little cattle prod.
Let me tell you, son, you're playing.
Yeah. They put up 69 points.
Look, I did hit on this dog. The San Jose State Spartans.
We're on that as well. Great hit.
Brennan getting it done, and now comes the tragedy. That wait a second, I'm just trying to understand this. So San Jose State
beat UNLV, the hottest team in the conference. Now the San Jose State's got
at UNLV.
Yes.
Never trailed. We're up double digits majority of the game.
They're up 21-7 and a half, weren't they, or something like that?
I'm just trying to understand this.
So now they're in the so now they obviously go to the Mountain West Championship game
because they have the best record and they beat UNLV.
And they just beat UNLV, right? So there's no way UNLV goes.
The stupid ass Mountain West is saying that so they use the BCS formula. So San Jose State, Boise State, UNLV tied for the best records.
Mm-hmm.
Boise State and UNLV didn't play. Right. San Jose State lost on the Smurf turf, and they beat UNLV. It seems to me like it should be Boise State and San Jose State, but then they're using some type of metrics, which I would love to be for them to explain more. Because San Jose State's strength of schedule, unfucking believable, but tougher than anybody in the Mountain West. They played USC at USC.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7-5 team. They played at Oregon State. Right, Oregon State. What, 8-9 wins? They played Toledo, who's like 2 points away from being undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
What in the fuck are they talking about here? How did this bothers the shit out of me. San Jose State's the best team in this conference.
Yeah.
And they're not even playing in their conference championship.
Right. Well, they let the computers figure it out to Dundee.
Yeah, I think the computers were like, wait a second. We can play this the Las Vegas market.
And first of all, it came out. They had to wait overnight. Like it came out in the morning.
Bullshit.
The next day,
100% bullshit.
Wait a minute. Are they coming from computers or not? Isn't that whole thing with computers that they have the information and it's fast?
This should be right away. You should know this while the game's going on.
The computer result will be ready in 24 hours.
This is bullshit. The commissioner said this. In my opinion, this is what really happened. The commissioner goes, hey, wait a second. Boise State has a big time following, right? So we're putting Boise State in there. San Jose State does not have a big time following.
Absolutely not.
We would love to have the game instead of at Boise in the cold ass weather. We're going to put it in the dome, and we're going to get the city of Las Vegas behind UNLV, even though they have no fucking fans. This is ridiculous. Like like San Jose State should fucking sue them. They should fucking leave. And they're the best team in that fucking conference.
Yeah. Rankings from Anderson and Hester, Colley, Matrix, and Massey, and Wolf determine its tiebreakers.
Yeah, I mean,
but I just like how it took a day for the results to come out. What are they punching in like a fucking like 1920s, like when it was 1950s?
So we'll see what the computers do tomorrow.
Yeah, the supercomputers. Boise State fired their goddamn coach halfway through the year.
Dude, San Jose State hasn't lost a game since like October 7th.
Right.
Their strength of schedule is so much better than everybody else's in the fucking Mountain West. Even the teams they drew in the Mountain West. Here's another nugget. They beat Fresno State. Guess who UNLV lost to? Fresno State.
Yeah.
This makes no sense. Absolutely ridiculous.
So they lost, like you said, USC, Oregon State, Toledo. Boise lost to Washington, UCF, and Memphis.
UNLV only beat.
Well, they lost to Michigan.
UNLV only beat Air Force. That's their only win against a team with a winning record.
Which, by the way, speaking of bad beats, Air Force did not get over 8.5 team wins. They were 8-0. They were 8-0.
The Hawaii game.
And your fucking totals, your over totals lost. Air Force. Yeah, the Hawaii game ruined their entire season. They've ruined their lives.
The San Jose State thing, though, I find just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, it's just awful that game meant nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point.
You know what I mean?
So what is the point of that fucking whole game? This is once again back to the FBS.
And they couldn't tell you beforehand. Well, we'll have to let the computers figure it out. What do you mean?
They hyped it up as like, the Mountain West Championship game on the line.
Yeah.
Well, apparently not.
Nothing
because San Jose State dominated them when UNLV dressed it up with 14 fucking points late in the game to make it a 6-point game. They were down fucking 20. Get the fuck out of here with this, man. This is why I look, I've always thought like college football is the greatest fucking sport, but at the same time, when you talk to like the lay football fans, I can't get into college football because of their,
Politics.
BC. Yeah. This is like example A right here. Imagine being a San Jose State fan. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like we've dominated. We've played by far the hardest schedule in the Mountain West. And what was the point of that game? We got excited to go to the Mountain West Championship, and you're just going to do this with us with some bullshit computer stuff that we weren't even. It's like you said. It's like they punch it in the next day.
That's great.
How do you not know that scenario coming into the fucking game or in the middle of the game?
Yeah, I mean
it's all nonsense, man. It's like I don't know. I'd be completely fucking outraged if I was a San Jose State fan.
Other than that, NC State was another small pop. I actually had back-to-back money line dog parlays. I put NC State, my Aztecs, San Diego State Aztecs, and beautiful San Jose State, which cashed.
Old Dominion, buddy, was one of my plays.
Yes.
Monarchs, they were down 21-0.
I saw that.
125-24.
It was a bloodbath going on.
When it was down 21-0, I was like, man, my picture ass this week. But
Great
they battle back, baby.
Awesome. Great
never question the heart of a Monarch. You see our Rice Owls, they're bowling. We cashed that over by a game and a half.
Easy. We cleared that easy. I gave that out on VSiN. That was one of my favorite season total wins. Was Rice over 4.5. People are like, "What are you talking? Who's got Rice total wins? We do, baby."
That's right.
Bombs out under.
Our pit play ain't shit. Pat just get him out of here.
Yeah, he's just got it wrong. He's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, how about the Louisville play too? Was brutal, but Michigan hit for us. Even though they weren't dogs. Yeah, the dog scene.
Kentucky
on the
was a
final
big
week.
sharp. I did have Kentucky set plus 7.5.
Really?
I didn't. That's pretty cool money line.
Filthy.
What a great game that was, though.
I don't know how the fuck Louisville fucked that up.
That was a fun game.
You could be playing for the college football playoffs.
They were fighting beforehand.
Losers.
I mean, that was a hillbilly rivalry.
I love that rivalry.
It's a great rivalry.
It's an underrated one. The Governor's Cup.
Yeah.
How about BYU pushing Oklahoma State? Probably should have won that game.
Probably should have won that game. They're fucking 17 with 8 minutes to go. How the hell did they lose that?
Yeah.
And now we got this. I mean, we could have Texas, Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. Now we're going to watch Texas pound the shit out of
I smell a live dog.
I took the 14 already.
you know, Gundy is 6-2 in his last 8 against the Longhorns.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's definitely a sleeper game. It did Texas no favor though. Texas is in a no-win situation with this game.
Yeah.
You know, because if they win handily, which I mean, obviously they could. They're really great. You beat Oklahoma. You beat this mediocre Oklahoma State.
South Alabama won by 27.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to get any credit for it.
South Alabama did that.
They just got to help to hold on.
Can we talk about James Madison just fucking destroying Coastal Carolina?
We were on that
56-14.
We threw that out there. Some of our favorites we liked. We liked that. I mean, they knew that was their last game.
So what do you make of the playoff scenario here, though? If
we threw Marshall out there as the Courtney lover,
fucking
lock it up.
I bet the hell out of that game. What do you make of this scenario, though? So, who do you think wins Louisville, Florida State in the ACC championship?
Well, I mean,
we're gonna get Thursday. We'll get to our plays,
right?
Like right now, no line or anything. Who do you think wins?
I know. Well, I'm thinking. I
like Louisville.
I like Louisville too, but I mean, I can also see Florida State rallying around this whole situation. People, you put these teams in these like everyone counts you out because your quarterback's out. You don't deserve to be here, even though undefeated. That's a pretty good chip. That's a legitimate chip to have in your shoulder. So fair. I can see Florida State rallying and they built momentum as that game went on. And they're cutting the grass, cutting the scissors, cutting out the turf in there. So I mean, Florida State's got some big. It's gonna take a lot to take them out. I'm just saying that.
Well, that sounds like you're going Florida State. So,
I haven't decided yet, and I hope. Now you have a Louisville ticket.
Do you
right?
think they'll fuck over? Yeah, I do. And I'm not. It's funny. I got DM saying, "You gonna hedge?" Nope.
No,
I am not. Especially Florida State without a starting quarterback. We're all in. I might double up. On these cards.
Gardner. You ain't hedging.
Now, I guess my question to you is: first, we know the 4-team invitational is the dumbest fucking thing. Hey, we have a sport with 133 teams. The top 4 are gonna go even though we have 5 power conferences. So I'm curious though. There's speculation that they wouldn't put Florida State in if they run the table because they know they're with the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First off, that's absurd.
They make up their own rules.
Yeah.
They say schedule and resumes matter. They say eye test matters.
Well, and another thing is we've talked about this. I have a big problem with their scheduling metrics because they're like, well, Rutgers was 6. Rutgers a bowl team win. Yeah, only because Rutgers had to play Nebraska and Minnesota and Northwestern. Like if you drop Rutgers in these other conferences, guess what? They're not a bowl team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, I rode the Rutgers over mainly because of the schedule. I thought aligned perfectly, but for them to give you that as like a positive on your resume, I just have problems with the whole system. But if Florida State goes undefeated, you assume what happens if Georgia beats Bama? I'm sorry, if Bama beats Georgia,
right?
Then you're gonna have 2 1-loss teams in the SEC. Even though Bama, you want to talk about lucky to fucking be there.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen essentially then? Because we know Michigan, if they beat Iowa's in. I think Michigan's in regardless. I think Michigan and Georgia are pretty safe. Well, I guess if Georgia loses to Bama, they're not safe. But
Georgia's in no matter what.
Even if they lose?
Easily.
How could you? What if Washington wins though? What if Washington and Florida State are 13-0?
They'll take Florida State out. They're not keeping Georgia and Alabama out.
So then it would be Michigan.
And they can't put Alabama in if Texas.
How
wins.
are you going to put Alabama? Yeah, I was about to say
over Texas. They'll put Texas over Alabama.
Well, then Texas wouldn't get in because if Washington wins,
they can do that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all chaos. It's all stupid.
It is all chaos.
Stupid as fucking.
But they will
system.
not have a. I will say they will not have a playoffs without Georgia and Alabama.
You're confident.
Positive.
What if Bama loses though? Then they're definitely out.
Well, then Georgia goes out. I'm saying with Georgia or Alabama.
Oh,
you're painting a scenario where they're both out.
Oh yeah,
and they're not going to do that.
Okay, fair. Yeah, they wouldn't do that. Too much money at stake.
Yeah, it's just too many fan bases. They rule they rule college football.
It's corrupt, buddy. This is like it's like going to a.
It really is
third world
and these
country.
rankings all year. And they have these guys top. They don't do shit with their schedule. Or they don't prove anything.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why we won a large playoff.
They barely ranked Washington all year. They finally cracked the top 5. Yeah. Washington. What do they have to do?
They won like 6 straight fucking ranked opponents.
Jesus,
folks. By the way, we're gonna do a special college football playoff episode tonight on the College Football Experience.
Yes.
Myself, Patty C, NC Nick. Look, stay tuned to that. But also, I want to tell you, the College Football Experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. They got NFL. They got NBA. They got the NHL, the National Hockey League. They got college football and they got college basketball. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite fantasy stats for your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. So I ask you, CJ Sullivan, hey, bet detective. We got the Monday night football game going on here. Justin Fields. What do you think of higher or lower 202 passing yards?
202 passing yards. Justin Fields. I feel like
202 and a half. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 202 and a half passing yards. I'd like to go higher than that. I think Justin Fields obviously came back. He looked good versus Detroit last week.
Yeah.
And he'll put up stats for you.
Yeah, he's a stat warrior.
He's a stat warrior. So I don't know if they'll get the win versus the pass or not, but I like Fields. I think DJ Moore is a big game. I think Cole Kmet is a nice game.
Well, let's talk about that because look, you pick a minimum of 2 players from each side, at least 2 different teams. And once again, they have this for everything. College football. I would read off college football stuff, but since they haven't uploaded them yet because the games are going to be Friday. So, but looking on the other side of that coin, then looking at those Minnesota Vikings, the Pastronaut, Joshua Dobbs. What do you make of the higher or lower 1.5 passing touchdowns?
Ooh, it's difficult to get passing touchdowns in today's.
All right,
game,
what about rush?
But I'll definitely go. I'm going any passion. I'm going higher, but he does become a bit of the rushtronaut a little bit. He likes to run the ball very well.
Well, that if you like that better, higher or lower 39.5 rushing yards.
Oh yeah, let's give me all
higher.
That.
Let's go. Load that thing up, folks. And what you don't realize is they're going to help you because get this, you use that promo code TCESGPN, folks. When you sign up,
folks,
Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. And get this, if you take a screenshot of you signing up with the TCESGPN promo code, we're gonna enter you in we're gonna give away a sweatshirt on this very show. All right. So check it all out, folks. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. They're going to remind you that Carney Lansford once was an Oakland A. All right? Yeah. You're going to need that moving forward. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching. Start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. You were a Carney Lansford fan, right?
Love Carney Lansford. Yeah. The goggles.
Oh man, you look like a young Mike Holmgren. So yeah, I mean, moving forward, I mean, I guess. How about Tulane got it done? I mean, it was actually kind of our worst week as far as like outright dogs.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of big ones. Yeah, for outrights for sure.
Yeah, outright dogs was just like ODU, Cal, San Diego State for you, the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, for
Northwestern.
Me. Yeah, Northwestern. We were both just perfect on there.
But we lost some bad ones.
Yeah, there were some bad ones.
I'm surprised Wake got blown out for crying out loud.
I know what the hell is something's not smelling right in the waters over there. Anyway, okay, moving forward. Let me ask you this about conference championship week. You got Jerry Kill taking on the Flamin' Libs.
Yep.
Thank God the CUSA is not one of these filthy fucking conferences playing in a fucking neutral site dome. That you got that on Friday. You got the Oregon-Washington game.
Right.
You got the MAC championship Saturday, Big 12 championship Saturday, Mountain West championship Saturday, SEC championship, AAC, App State, Troy, and the Sun Belt. ACC, shout out to them too. And the Big 10. Which one are you looking forward to most?
Well,
your top two.
Top two
to watch. Like you're sitting there saying, I can't wait to watch these. Is it that Georgia Bama gonna get there?
Georgia Bama will be great. It'll be loud. It'll be very Southern. But I also have that feeling like I don't know what it means. You know, like I said, I think Georgia can still lose and get through. You know.
Yeah. So what does it all mean? Yeah.
Bama,
Oregon, Washington might mean something though.
Oregon, Washington, I want to watch.
Yeah.
I want to watch both those Vegas games, to be honest with you, which is going to be happening within 12 hours of each other. They're having it's like a Friday night Vegas, Washington game. And then Saturday afternoon, they're doing the fucking Mountain West Boise State UNLV in front of their no home crowd.
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious. Is no one's going to be at that.
Yeah, no one's going to be at that game.
You got your wish. You put in your fucking running Rebels, even though they barely beat anybody this year.
I'm always interested. I'm interested in your Louisville, Florida. I want to see your Louisville get it. That line came crashing. It was 3.5. Now it's 2.5. Pretty good flip. So,
you know, one of mine, even though it's at that filthy dome.
Yeah, I know. It's
parents, baby.
That should be outside. But I love to see Iowa do something there. They won't, but I love to see something.
Deacon Hill throws for 300.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's back. What about SMU Tulane down there in the dirty, the dirty no?
Definitely one of the most competitive games out there. I mean, that was boy. How about that? Speaking of games that were over in 5 minutes, that SMU Navy game. Jesus God, I mean, that was 21-0 before I even opened up my first pop.
I'm going to put New Mexico State Liberty high on my list.
I was looking at that as well.
Pissing
Pavia is coming in. Liberty has been pissing in our faces all year with their
they have been
running the table. I mean,
and you saw Sam Houston hit. Sam Houston hit. It took all year, baby.
I know,
but we got there.
It take a while to get there.
I'm excited to see. I think Jerry Kill can give the Flamin' Libs a game there, even though that place will be lit there at Williams Stadium. on Friday. On
I got
CBS
a question
Sports.
for you before we get into all the, since we're wrapping up here.
What's that?
Well, the big news of the college weekend, I'm sure you've already talked about on your other shows, but you haven't with me. There, all the coaching changes that have happened. I know
The Mark Stoops era
the
at
Stoops
Texas
era,
A&M.
the Stoops era at A&M was hilarious. His tweet, these college coaches, that's another reason these college coaches, they tweet, now after further reflection, after looking at my family in the locker room after a big win over Louisville,
I told my wife, Laura,
yeah. I said, where can I
this is home. All right.
Also, fuck these A&M fans too. They just like do the blush and they control the, you know, and you have to listen to these. You have to listen to these idiots.
I think A&M put that shit out there purposely.
On purposely.
That's. I mean, look, I have no proof.
I don't know.
of
They
this.
got roasted and dragged around like getting, you know, like okay.
The worst part about this, I think Elko's a lot better than Stoops, in my opinion.
Elko,
So
I know.
I actually think they
True.
actually,
They got it right.
They got it
For sure. They probably did get
right,
it right.
but I still think it's ridiculous that they did it at the Stoops.
But it was a reactionary to Stoops and the way the fans like went nuts for it.
I know. They're like, what the fuck?
That just shows you how idiots the A&M is, though. Actually, it's not the fans. The A&M just throwing it out there. All right, how about this? Whoa, okay, you didn't like that? All right, let's go back to the drawing board here.
We didn't sign anything yet. We didn't sign anything yet. Now, one thing I do find hilarious is you're getting rid of Jimbo Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
You go and you almost hire Mark Stoops, who was Jimbo's DC at Florida State, right?
That's why I like get that the hell. Like,
But then you say, no, we're not going to go home. We're going to Mike Elko, who is also Jimbo Fisher's defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So, I mean, I actually think Mike Elko is a great fucking coach. And I think if there's one guy that could get A&M, you know, A&M is one of these schools that spends a ton. They've never sniffed a national championship. I actually think if they let Elko be himself. Now, here's the thing.
Does he bring Leonard with him?
He might. And knowing that they have a shit ton of money, probably. Can he, like, there's a lot of egos involved. It's Texas. See, they spend crazy, but with that comes, you have to listen to the fucking boosters because they cut you a check to buy out Jimbo for $80 million.
Right.
So can Elko play that game and keeping everyone happy? Because Elko kind of strikes me as a great football coach, but also a guy that's like, fuck you.
Yeah, of course. But like you said, the boosters, the teams, they run the show there.
But I'm saying Elko could get to a point where he says, fuck you to one of the boosters. Are they going to let him hire his own offensive coordinators? I need to know these questions before I'm like completely I think Mike Elko, if you give him 100% control, I think he could take you to a national championship. But the question is will he have that?
Right. Can you talk? I mean,
Chip Kelly, they're talking about Chip Kelly potentially getting fired. There was other coaching things. We got Jeff Lebby is Mississippi State's coach. I personally don't really care for that hire, but
you don't like anything Oklahoma. I think it's just everything that comes out of
I hate that offense. I think it's a gimmick offense, and I think it might work to beat Vanderbilt, but it's not going to work to contend.
Speaking of buyouts, so I imagine these buyouts won't be happening anymore. I can't imagine Elko gets a huge buyout at A&M. Like they have to have learned their lesson with these things.
Maybe with A&M, but for other colleges,
Tom Allen, Indiana got a $15 million buyout. What? How
did they give him that much money?
Who is making these contracts? Talk about being in the wrong business.
And then
I'm not saying I should be a college coach, but I should be their agent. Holy shit.
Well, the irony too is you hear them say, we don't have the resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck? You just paid $80 million. You know, you just paid Tom Allen $20 million to not coach Indiana.
How does he have that buyout there?
What a genius. What a fucking genius.
Fun fact there, the last 14 coaches to leave Indiana left with a losing record.
I've always wondered about that. Let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
Okay. I'm actually surprised when you watch like 4-8 Indiana or, you know, if they're 2-9.
Yeah.
They packed that crowd.
Yeah, sure.
They got all this
faithful fans.
They got all this Big Ten money coming and starting next year with their TV contract.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what Stoops did with Kentucky in that contract, and actually A&M too with that SEC network money. I mean, A&M always had big boosters, but they built that stadium up with all that money. My question would be, like, you know, Kentucky is kind of turning into a football school. They make a bowl like every year.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana's not going to be in the Big Ten East anymore. They're getting rid of divisions. I know that the Big Ten is going to be loaded because Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and USC are coming in. But I'm just wondering, like, why can't you win there if you have a fan base and Indiana spends? Why Indiana basketball hasn't been relevant really in a long time.
Right.
They're kind of like Kentucky in a way of like they were a basketball school, but could we see a transition?
But it is their DNA. It's what they care about. Obviously, they still care about the football, but like, I mean, you know.
But my thing is like if one coach comes in like Stoops did for Kentucky,
right?
He could almost sway that because last year there was a big thing: is Kentucky a basketball school or football school?
Mm-hmm.
Calipari says we're still a basketball school, but even the fan base is saying no, we're a football school now.
Sure.
So I just wonder if they I don't know who they hire.
Well, you heard the name.
Which one?
John Gruden.
Please.
He's been going around forever in college ranks. There's been talks about him going to Indiana.
Please. We're talking about a guy here, Joss. Right?
We're talking about a guy. These kids, you know, they don't care about your racist emails down in Bloomington.
If I went through your emails, no. I mean, Urban Meyer, I would wonder if he would take that flag.
I don't know if he would do that. He wants Day's job. The way he talks about it is he can't lose to an interim coach.
What about them grabbing?
Which, by the way, I know we didn't talk about the Ohio State Michigan game, but Day, I mean, come on.
We should talk about the Ohio State Michigan in a second here.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot of good coaches out there they could grab, and that could bring stability. Don't be stupid. Don't overthink this. You know what I mean? Like I'll take the New Mexico State thing with Jerry Kill. That was like an easy slam dunk for me. I've always wondered. I was sitting there. Why there's great coaches that would Dan Mullen take this job? He's a Pennsylvania guy. He grew up in Pennsylvania. I know Indiana's not close to Pennsylvania, but it's close. It's in the conference. You know, there's a lot of coaches that I think are solid football coaches that they could grab. And what all of a sudden you can get to 6-6 and you do that a couple years in a row, 7-5, 6-6, you build this thing. I think they have a fan base that would be on board with this. Any of those Big Ten schools really, like what's the difference between like before Barry Alvarez got to Wisconsin was ass.
Right.
All I did was start winning some games and the fans now they're fucking jumping around every fucking time. It's a thing. That's all it takes. Yeah,
they have a program. Like we said, when you get to the low end of these conferences, but they're about to become something different. I mean, there's definitely opportunity for you. How about some of these other fire coaches that are even available? Our man Dana went out.
I think he should be coaching somewhere.
Indiana.
I think
get him over to Indiana.
I think he's too Roy Munson for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
although he only did have 2 winning seasons out of 5. True. I mean,
well, he was dumb enough to walk in and say, "I'm redshirting everybody this year."
Yeah.
So that was one of those losing seasons that they probably could, if had he not redshirted him.
How different would it have been though if they just would have gave him a proper measurement versus Texas in that game?
That's true.
You beat Texas. And you beat
Yeah.
Texas. None of this is happening.
No, but I think Holgorsen, he'll probably get like a group of 5 job.
Mm-hmm.
I think he should be. I mean, he's a good enough coach where I think like his track record, if you put him, you know,
right.
Shit. Yeah, East Carolina, pick up the phone and call Dana Holgorsen. Rich Rod first. But how about Rich Rod to Indiana? I think that would be a slam dunk.
Get a little Big Ten redemption in there. I like that.
Fucking slam dunk.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there that I think they could pick up the phone and call, especially now that they have all this crazy money too. Like they're getting the new Big Ten contract's absurd.
You're right.
So they're going to be able to, that's why they could buy out Tom Allen, 20 million, nothing.
Like that was shocking to me when I saw Tom Allen's buyout.
But hold on, let's talk about this Michigan Ohio State game. What'd you make of this one? And Ryan Day, should he be fired? He's only like 97-3.
Yeah, it's hard to fire a guy who's only lost like 7 games in his entire career there. But it does seem in Athletic had an article how he goes away from himself during the Michigan games, which is not a good sign.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the punt on the 48-yard line open up the game like early on.
It's 4th and 1.
Yeah,
too,
it's 4th and 1.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, 4th and 1. You can't do cowardly punts like that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're Ohio State.
I was on Michigan -3. I thought my handicap was fucking spot on. I said McCord will be the one to make mistakes.
McCord did make mistakes, and obviously they battled back. I kind of like that, but they did another situation right before halftime too. Like, so it was 14-3 early.
Yeah,
they made it 14-10, and they had to stop. Then they had the ball like on their own like 8 or something with like 3.5 minutes to go, and they drove down 7 plays on the other 35, and then he just shuts it down.
Yeah,
he like basically took a knee. Take a 52-yard field goal. Your guy's only kicked a 48 in his fucking career. Well,
so you think he should be fired? If you're the athletic director of Ohio State,
Listen, I'm not the athletic director at Ohio State because they think differently over there. Obviously, they fired John Cooper because of the shit. You know what I mean? Like guys that go 11-1, but you lose to Michigan, and you do that. They don't care about anything else because they're dumb people. So no,
they're dumb millionaires.
Yeah, they are
right?
dumb. They are dumb millionaires. And no, I don't think he should be fired. But I mean, he's got to change this. This is. I mean, this.
Let me ask you this: Chip Kelly. There's talk this week that they might fire him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, if you're UCLA, do you fire Chip Kelly?
No, Chip Kelly's just an absurd firing too. Because first of all, UCLA, who do you think you're going to replace Chip Kelly?
Here's the only thing that I was thinking about this yesterday on the show. The only way that I could be talked into Kelly being fired, I don't think he should be. First off,
right?
But if you have a deal with Chris Peterson, that was the only way that I would say, okay, do it.
I say with Prime because Prime would be Prime
needs a better track record
for selfish reasons. I don't care. Oh, he'll be a worse coach, but he'll be a lot more fun. you get him in a Rose Bowl LA press conference. I just want him in LA.
Now,
yeah, of course Peterson. But that's what I mean. Like, who are you going to replace him with? Chip Kelly. And you say you're not going to get better than that unless you got to get Chris Peterson.
Yeah, I was devastated when Jonathan Smith left Oregon State for Michigan State. Just because he's a former Beav.
I get it with the conferences and the uncertainty and all that, but that was
he's a former
brutal.
Beav, and I thought he would battle for them in this time period where we don't know where they'll land eventually. Now I still think there's hope if you're an Oregon State fan. I know Brennan used to be at Oregon State on their staff. Maybe they go for him, but I think Bronco Mendenhall, who played at Oregon State, played safety at Oregon State. I think that's your home run. I think both of those are good options, but yeah, I mean, I was shocked, Jonathan. And Jonathan Smith, I guess he's looking at it like, hey, or it's going to be hard as fuck to schedule everybody here. Teams don't like playing at Corvallis in general because it's a lit environment. You normally lose. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get to. You got to fly into Portland, drive a couple hours. And then you're thinking Michigan State just gave Mel Tucker $100 million. That means if I win next year, they're going to give me a $100 million contract.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Why not?
I don't know.
Free money.
I was devastated by that, but yeah, Holgerson's out.
Terry Bowden, he got fired.
That was ridiculous. They're more competitive. Like, I understand the wins aren't there, but the
wins are not there. He's 10-26 in 3 seasons, but
you got to understand that his teams have been rated in the portal.
Yeah,
like they're more competitive than they were in the previous coach, in my opinion.
UTEP's coach was Dana Dimel.
Well, he should have been fired like 7 years ago.
He did that.
That one, I'm like,
those numbers, like, well, hey, what took so long? 49 and 49 the last 6 years.
I thought he had evidence. I thought he had pictures of somebody.
I mean, it was crazy.
Now,
and this year was his worst ever.
Yeah.
I think, with that team.
That team returned everybody. UTEP, don't overthink it. Nick Rolovich is out there. He's a proven winner. I think that would make a lot of sense.
Okay.
Go get Nick Rolovich. Or how about this? Gary Patterson. He's familiar with the state of Texas. Gary Patterson is best friends with Jerry Kill. That's a rivalry in New Mexico State and UTEP. Yeah. That would be great for college football. I think it's just a smart hire. And I'll mention Gary Patterson to Middle Tennessee too, who just fired Rick Stockstill, because Patterson's got that country music career. Nashville's right there. You sell him on that, saying, "Hey, you can play all the fucking tunes you want for the rest of the season." Out of conference or out of football season, and then you're right here. You're 15-20 minutes from Nashville, whatever the fuck it was.
Did you hear this firing? The 4th longest.
Stockstill?
Yeah.
18th
Stockstill.
Thought he got a. I mean, look, I can understand Middle Tennessee saying, we had it 18 years. You had good wins for us. You're a good coach, and let's move to something that can get more exciting. Because I've always wondered, with Vanderbilt sucking, why they couldn't come up with Nashville right there. Yeah. I understand, like, the state is kind of a Tennessee school.
The Tennessee school and Nashville. Nashville's a pro town. They have like pro cities.
I still think that town could get sold on that. You know what I mean? The Titans suck. You know what I mean? I mean, not necessarily, like, they just don't have the history of winning, is my point. I know.
No, absolutely. And they hit a lull, but he did develop that program. I think they just didn't want his son to coach. His son's a quarterback coach. Yeah. And they were like, hey, let's just get rid of this family altogether right now before this transition happens.
Pick it up, though. I mean, they could bring in a hot name, maybe. I mean, I just feel like they could do a lot better as far as, I mean, Stockstill, I think, was good. I don't think he should have been fired. You know, he made a bowl almost every year, but at 18 years, you're probably like, let's get some more excitement behind this program. They probably look around and see James Madison, who just was recently in the FCS.
Mm-hmm.
They probably look around and see Appalachian State. They probably look around and see Liberty with Chadwell firing away, Jerry Kill at New Mexico State, and say, why can't that be us winning 10, 11 games? So I can't blame them too much. So interesting stuff there. I know Baylor decided to keep Dave Aranda, and Northwestern kept their interim head coach, David Braun.
I mean, he did great for him.
7 wins.
Did great.
We were way off.
I know. We jumped ship with all those other Shrek fuckers. So, you know.
All right, folks. Well, that's our show. We will be back Thursday talking college football championship weekend bombs. All right, folks. Give the bet detectives anything on the case this week? Did you anything on the case?
On the docket coming on the case? So some of them been dropped in front of my desk. Yeah.
Okay. You got something out there?
I have the Cincinnati photo deleted tweet of Burrow's sleeve, of course, from last week. Got a lot of things from that Eagles Buffalo games that referee detectives people want to know, horse trailers and all that.
Bet detective is on the case as always, folks. This is the beginning of the C block. Remember, bombs.
Bottom line bombs. After the show. Bottom
yeah.
line bombs. Man in the box. Stay tuned here. Put you right in there. That's how the C block works.
You don't even have to click anything. It's just going to go right into the seamless transition, folks. Give CJ Sullivan a follow on Twitter at CJ Sullivan _. I'm on Twitter at the Kobe D. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And don't forget, folks, we'll be back talking college football playoff episode tonight and coaching hires. Me, Patty C, NC Nick. Stick around. Also later tonight, College Basketball Experience. We're here every single night of the college basketball season. Subscribe, tell a friend. And until next time, folks, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the cameras. Run and shoot.